In this tutorial, we will be discussing creating a Google form. Let's get started. So here I am in Google Drive, and I'm ready to create my Google form. So I'm going to mouse over the word create, click on it, and choose form. First thing that comes up is to give your form a title. And so this is going to be, let's see, I'm just going to call this survey. Just for lack of a better term, survey 1. And then you can pick what type of theme you would like to have. And so I'm going to go with white poppies and say OK. And now I'm ready to give a description for the form. Please, let's see, this survey will demonstrate how to use Google Forms. All right. That's really not a great description for the survey, but it is kind of what we're going to do. Now you're ready to start putting in your questions. So we have a question, and let's see, our question is going to say, what is your favorite holiday? And then if you needed help text, you could type that in here and then choose from the list. And then then you get to choose the question type. And you can have multiple choice, you can have check boxes, choose from a list, a scale, grid, date, time, lots of text, paragraph text. So you can have about anything that you want on here. It's really kind of like building a test, but you can also build a form, survey, whatever. So we're going to say choose from a list. And I'm going to put in Thanksgiving, and I'm going to put in Christmas. And notice when I just click the box, how a new line opens up. And I'm going to put in Groundhog Day, just to be silly. Now, before I click done on this question, notice I can make it required. And so I'm just going to make this a required question, meaning that it's not something somebody can leave blank. Then we're ready to go and add another item. So I'm going to click the down box, and I can add all the different types of items that you can see here. Before we do that, though, I'm going to come up here and just let you see that this is the edit button here. This is to duplicate. So if you were going to have lots of questions that were very similar, you could hit duplicate, and you could get another question exactly like this one. And then all you'd have to do is just edit it. And if you really hate your question, you can delete it. Right. When I click done, I get to see the way the question's going to look. What is your favorite holiday? Choose from the list. And then when I click on it, of course, I'm in edit mode, so I get to see exactly what it's going to look like. Right. Then I'm ready to add another item. And if I just click add item, it just pops up with the default, type of question. And again, I'm ready to add the next one. So I'm just going to say, what is your favorite Starbucks drink? And then I'm going to say that this is going to be check boxes. And I'm going to put in a cafe mocha and grande bold. Oops, I'm sorry, I did not click down. Cafe mocha. And then I want this one to say grande bold. There we go. And then I'm going to put in Americano. And I'm going to put in a latte, just for fun. All right. Then you can even have an add other, where somebody could actually have to put in whatever they wanted their answer to be. Okay. And again, I can make this a required question, and I can click done. And then it's ready to go, and this is how this question would look. When you're finished with your survey or your form of whatever type, you can put in a confirmation message. And the default is your response has been recorded. But you can always say something nice like, thank you for completing this survey. And then you can choose some options down here. Show link to submit another response, publish and show link results of the form, allow responders to edit responses after submitting. So you get to choose whichever way you want this to appear. To see what it's going to look like, because it's ready to go now. I mean, if you click send form, you can send it to people, but you can actually view the live form. And this is what it's going to look like. So that's kind of cool, right? And notice you can go right back to edit this form, right? Now I can also go back to where I was before, right? Because it opened up the view in a new window. Now, we're ready to send the form. So I'm going to hit send the form. And notice what I can do. I have a link to share, and I can embed this somewhere. And then the form will actually appear like on your Google site. And that's what we're going to want to do. But you can also send it via email, and you can invite other people to be able to edit the form. I do this many times with our data manager in the office. What I'm going to do is click the embed, and you get to choose the size that you want the embedded form to be. I'm going to make mine a little bit small. Well, 760 by 500 will probably work just fine. And so this is the code that I want. So it tells me how to copy it. I'm going to copy that code. And then I'm going to click done. Right? And now I'm going to go to a page on my Google site. And I'm going to make a new page. And I'm going to call this Google Form. And I'm going to create the page. And of course, with your Google form, you have to do the usual reflection and all of that, but this will at least help you get started on how to put this part in. I always like to go and change the layout to at least one column. I never use the simple because the one column gives me different boxes in which I can put things. Probably going to do my reflection and information up top, so I'm going to put the form right here. To put the form in, I click in the box where I want it to go, and I click the HTML code button. And then I'm just going to paste that code. And there it is. I say update. It appears here. I like to center things. And I click save. And now I should be able to see my Google form. So there it is. Now, the other thing that you might want to do with your Google form, and notice it says all changes are saved in Google Drive, all right, is just to take a quick gander at these little options up here. So we have file, I can send the form, new, open, rename, make a copy, download, embed, email collaborators. A lot of things that it was giving me to do when I click send form. Edit lets me undo, redo. View the live form, the theme, full screen, different choices here. Insert, these are some other things that you can insert. You can get really fancy with this, insert images, page breaks, section headers, all kinds of things, in addition to your basic questions and your more advanced questions. For responses, you can actually say, yes, I'm accepting responses now, or not. Get a summary of the responses, which is going to be great for analyzing the data. Choose the response destination. If we click on choose the response destination, then you can say you want the responses to be recorded in a brand new spreadsheet. And by default, it's going to give it the title of your survey and then the word responses. And you could say, always create a new spreadsheet or keep responses only in forms. And so I like to actually do the spreadsheet thing. And so I'm going to hit create. Right? So now it's setting up the spreadsheet. Notice it tells me right here. And once it's set up, I'll be ready to actually use the form. Okay, so it's all set up. Continuing down, we have tools, script manager and script editor. If you want to get really fancy, you can play with that. That's not a part of what we're going to do because you don't really need to do fantastic. You don't need that in order to do fantastic forms. And then there's some help, user forum, the Google Plus community, all the things that they're going to try to get you to be interested in. And so now if we go to our Google Drive, we should be able to see this form. And here it is, Survey 1 and Survey 1 responses. So as the survey is completed, I will actually be able to view the survey, but I will also be able to view the responses. So let's take a look at one that was done previously just to see what it might look like. So if I go here to one that I created for a class, here is my form. And this was their final exam. They had to complete a survey, a detailed survey for the class. And you can see all of the forms that are here, all the things that are here. All right, and the responses that I got. And if I go to view responses, I will actually see what they look like in a type of a form, right? It's not my favorite way to view it, but you actually can go and view the responses there. All right, so I'm viewing the responses. I'm viewing that actual spreadsheet, right? Now, another way to view that spreadsheet is to actually go to the Google Drive and click on responses. And look, there it is again, okay? So you can certainly do that. I'm going to now go back to my survey. And I can go to summary of responses. And when I look at the summary of responses, I get this really nice summary of all the responses that I have. This is kind of the way I like to look at it. It's a lot more user-friendly for me, and I'm getting everybody's comments and everybody's way that they completed things. So for me, I can actually view the results in a very quick and easy way when I do this. Right? And then I can close that, and I'm back at the form. So that is a quick overview of how to create and use a Google form. As always, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask.